We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blab. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com, and most importantly, friends, SideScrollersPlus.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey, good to see you. Happy Thursday to you. We got a big show. We got a lot to talk about and a great guest today. I'm glad you're with us today. Hit the thumbs up button. We'd really appreciate it. Blabs, how are you?
I'm good. Hi. I thought you were going to tell me I'm fired when you said Blabs like that. I just got a PTSD, a flash a little bit there.
It is not today in gaming history yet.
Not yet.
We will get there. We will get there. Which I think it's going to be pretty impossible for you to fuck this up. If I'm being very honest with you.
You'll wait and see.
We'll see. Joining us
You
today.
underestimate my power, bro.
Oh no, listen, I never underestimate your ability just to screw things up horribly. It's great.
Thank you.
That's okay. Hey, we all do it constantly all the time. Just pushing the rock down the road here over here on Side Scrollers, which is great. Look, glad you're with us today. We got a great guest, and we're going to get right into it. Joining us today on this wonderful Thursday, the illustrious Critical Drinker. How are you?
I've never been described as illustrious before. That's fantastic.
Maybe I should intro you as the Piers Morgan regular guest.
I know.
How did
it's
that
actually
come about?
become kind of tiresome me being on that. You know, it's just like, oh god, every couple of weeks I've got to go on Piers Morgan.
Oh,
yeah, it's fun.
Like, how did that happen?
One of his production people got in touch, and I thought it was a wind-up at first. And then I looked them up, and it's like, oh, right, this is legit. They want me to come on Piers Morgan and do an interview. So I came on, and yeah, myself and Gary have definitely become like semi-regulars there. They always match us up with panelists that we can argue with. So it's a lot of fun. You know, it's a bit of theater, and we have a bit of a laugh while we do it. So it's good.
You know, as I've watched those segments of you, like there are people that are insufferable, and then there's like the psycho left guests that they invite onto Piers Morgan, and like they take it to a next level. Is it theater with these people, or is it just, or do they truly believe that based off your interactions with it?
Yeah, it's like wrestling, man. You need a color commentator every once in a while, and that's all it is. You know, once we stop rolling with the cameras, like everyone's like, "Hey, that was a good show, everyone." Thanks.
There you go. Hey,
appreciate it. Burst your bubble.
Have a good one. No, it's. Listen, we get it. It's theater. We totally understand. It's all made up, drinker. It's all fake. Everything. It's all just a.
It's all a work. It's all a work.
That's right. Are you a big wrestling fan?
A little bit, yeah. I was definitely into it in like the 90s and the 2000s, like kind of grew out of it after that. And I feel like it got to be a bit shit after that. But, you know, back in its day, it was good fun. I liked it.
Have you been keeping track of like what's been going on the last like 18 months or so in wrestling with the whole Rock coming back and being the final boss and all that? Have you seen that?
I've heard bits and pieces. Yeah, I heard it was like super unpopular. Like the guy just reinserts himself into like major storylines because he's a big Hollywood star now and he just thinks he can do what he wants. And yeah, people are just not interested anymore.
And he owns part of the company, which is he's like actually on the board. Now, what's interesting is they had a total side quest derail here, but that's fine. We're going to talk wrestling for a second. Leading up to last year's WrestleMania, they had a phenomenal storyline going on. And it really kind of peaked at last year's WrestleMania, and everyone was really excited about what was going on. And they had a crazy ass like final 5 minutes of WrestleMania. And this year's like the build up to it was really kind of shit, and people weren't really excited. So they had all the momentum, and they just kind of dropped the ball a little bit. So yeah, it's like it was really hot for about a year, and then it's just kind of cooled off after. The Rock rocked it. So, you know, but
he's become like the Hulk Hogan of the present day, where it's like he's got creative control and like it's all just about the ego, man. It's like, yeah, okay, I've decided I'm going to win the next world championship, and like nobody can stop him.
Well, Cena's back at it, man. Cena, that's where it kind of peaked. Was Cena turned heel, and did you see all that? The reaction?
Oh, did he finally turn heel? It's been less than 20 years in the making, man.
Right. So the storyline was that it was John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, and they're both kind of good guys until the end. And then The Rock gets in the ring and he goes like this to John Cena, and then John Cena kicks Cody Rhodes in the balls, and he finally turns bad. And what's come out since all this happened a few months ago was that turn wasn't super planned. Like it wasn't they didn't have a long-term vision for it. It was just like, let's turn John Cena heel now. And now John Cena's heel, and he's kind of being a shit heel. Nobody really likes him as a heel. And so it's been fairly short-sighted. Yeah. So.
That dude can't get heat one way or the other, because it's like nobody really liked him as a babyface after a point, because it's like, yeah, Super Cena who just wins everything. Yeah, and then they started booing him. You'd think like, okay, if they do a heel turn with him, like people would appreciate that at least, like just lean into it, you know?
Well, they did for like the first week, and then they realized that there was like no long-term vision for this. So, and I think Cena's having a hard time.
Yeah, and like Cena's getting pretty old now, and like I got the impression he wanted to leave wrestling and just get into acting and stuff. Now he wants to do movies and TV shows, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole thing here. This is his retirement tour, so everything's one last time for John Cena. He's spending like 2025 just going back, and it's like his last hurrah. So and then he's promised he's never going to do a match again. So
yeah, sure. Just like Ric Flair said, he was retiring in 2008. It's like still wrestling like last week.
Yeah, poor Ric Flair. Anyways, okay, we can talk wrestling all day. We're not going to talk wrestling. Whatever. But we do have a lot going on today. We're glad. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Like I said, we have a really big announcement today. We're very excited to share with you guys. It all stems around what we have going on over here, because today's episode is brought to you by Side Scrollers Plus, which means it's brought to you by you guys. You guys are the members of the show. You guys allow us to keep doing this on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, and we appreciate that. We have all sorts of good things happening over on Plus. This weekend we have Blabs with our new series Side Dishes, where she's checking out some tacos. Shut up, phone. She's checking out some authentic Texas San Diegan tacos, which did not.
Sounds like a blast, man. Sign me up.
Yeah. Wait, when you come through Texas, we'll just put a bunch of food in your face, and we'll see how you like it. That's pretty much what we did with Blabs when she was down here, which is great. So, but the big announcement that we want to share with you guys is that we are very, very excited to announce that we're going to be doing some premium programming over on Plus. We're flying a bunch of friends down to Dallas, which is taking place in just a few weeks, for our first live event called King of the Couch, taking place Saturday, June 14th. You can see the start times based off your wherever you live right there. And it's going to start on YouTube, but it's going to the main card will be exclusively on Side Scrollers Plus. Think of this like a WWE pay-per-view or a UFC pay-per-view. You can find it exclusively over on Plus. The pre-show will be on everybody's YouTube channels. Then we're going to do it over on Plus. So we encourage you to head over to Side Scrollers Plus right now. Use promo code KING and get $30 off your annual memberships over there. And join us for the big event, King of the Couch, coming up in early June. Something very, very exciting as well is we mentioned how we are going to be growing with our community, and we're really excited to announce that we're going to be working with Lady Desiree as well, as she's our lead on King of the Couch, our lead event coordinator. So very, very stoked to have Des. Des is actually flying in town today for another event, but I'm going to be picking her up here this afternoon to take her to where the event's going to be held. So King of the Couch coming up on early June. So we're right there. Bingo. June 14th, 7 p.m. Central Time, exclusively over on Side Scrollers Plus. Very nice. So look forward to that. Okay. With that said, we always like to start the show with Today in Gaming History. I have a list of games here, Drinker. Would you like to now? Blabs' job is to pick the games. and you have the opportunity to pick the games that you think she picked on today's. Okay, so
and it only can be 3 games.
Only 3 games.
So
okay?
I'm picking the games that I think Blabs really likes.
Or yes, pretty much, or the games that she thinks are historically valuable.
Important.
So okay, yeah.
Here are the games today, released 45 years ago. Pac-Man.
Over Blood. I can't remember that one.
You can see Perfect Dark. This is actually a pretty damn good game list today. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I remember Red Faction as well.
I mean,
Red
Pirates
Faction
of the
was a big one.
Caribbean, guys.
Yeah,
that's true. It is your list today, Blabs. We'll see how that goes. So we have Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier 2012 and Mega Man Legacy Collection. Oh, I'm actually in that game. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that was happening.
In the game?
You're in it?
Yeah, a code. There was a code in that game built around me, which is pretty cool. So I'll share that with you guys in just a second. Yeah. So Drinker, what do you think? Which games on this list do you think Blaz put on it today?
Okay, so it's got to be Pac-Man, obviously. Like it doesn't get much bigger than that.
He says obviously, but he doesn't know me very well.
It's still one of the best arcade games ever made. Unreal, I think. I can't believe it's 27 years ago. God, I feel old. And yeah, I'm tempted to say Final Fight 2, but I think Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Because Blabs, you're a lot younger than us, and so you probably are into the youngin' games.
All
I've
right,
actually
Blabs.
never
Recent
played
times.
the Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End video game.
Yeah, but
Wow, I
Blabs,
fucked that one up, didn't I?
well, no, you didn't, because Blabs doesn't play most of these games, and she just puts them on there because they're Disney. So what'd you put on today, Blabs?
Listen. I think I did a pretty damn good job today. We have Pac-Man released in Japan in 1980. We have Perfect Dark releasing in 2000, and Tom Clancy released back in that one in 2022, which is the wrong year. But you know, I done fucked up there.
Wow,
Pretty standard for you, yeah. Good old Final Fight 2, released for the Super Nintendo. Did you ever play that one, Drinker?
I did back in the day, yes. It was pretty good. I was more of a Street Fighter 2 guy, but yeah, Final Fight 2 was pretty awesome as well.
You know, Final Fight and Street Fighter are in the same universe?
What?
Oh, really?
Madman?
Am I breaking news to you right now?
You're breaking the world for me right now.
Okay, so let me tell you. Let me tell you how this
Hit
all
me
worked
with
out, right? So Final Fight and Street Fighter are in the same universe, which is why you see characters like Hagar and Cody in Street Fighter games now. Street Fighter 89 was, well, let me kind of pull this up. I want to make sure I get this right. There was a game called Street Fighter 89, and that was what Final Fight was going to be. It was called Street Fighter 89 because the first Street Fighter was like really shitty, but they're like, hey, we're going to make a sequel out of it, and then we're going to turn it into a beat 'em up. So Final Fight's original name was Street Fighter 89, and it all takes place in the same universe. I know, I just blew your mind, and I'm sorry to break that news.
This is some crazy stuff right now. You're redefining my entire childhood before my very eyes, sir.
Yeah, I know. It's what we do on a day-to-day basis here on the show.
I think I'm going to have to leave the stream right now. I need to go and process this.
Yes, you can see right here over on Brave. It's letting you know. Street Fighter 89 is actually known as Final Fight, a beat-em-up game developed by Capcom. It began as a sequel to the original Street Fighter, but was changed to a beat-em-up genre and renamed Final Fight due to the success of Double Dragon. The game was released in 1989 and became a major commercial success, selling 30,000 units worldwide. Isn't that crazy to think that 30,000 units in 1989 was like a really big deal?
I know. Gosh, what a more innocent time that was.
Like if you don't sell 30,000 units of a game in the first like 6 minutes, you're deemed a failure today.
Yeah.
Crazy. So yes, there's fan-made versions of the game that use Street Fighter 89 or Street Fighter 89 The Final Fight. So you can find these on Game Jolt and things like that. So anyways, I'm sorry to shatter your world today, Drinker, but we have done it.
No, you've added to my world now. Like there's the crossover that I didn't know I needed, but now I do.
Well, now you'll understand why when you play Street Fighter 6, Cody's hanging out there. You know, he's just kind of hanging out. It's fun stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Now, obviously, we got Today in Gaming History, which is great. But you have a big project which you guys announced recently, and this has been a smashing success. So why don't you fill us in on this this new book you guys have coming out?
Yeah, myself and a few other content creators like Mauler and Az, we have partnered up with the Rippaverse. We contributed some stories to them that have been turned into comic books now, and it's been put into an anthology called Saints and Sinners. It's the first of its kind that they've released. And, well, as you can see there, it's doing pretty well so far. It's just launched like a week ago, and we've already sold, 5,500 books, made almost $200,000 from it. And, yeah, the response to it has been amazing. So we're very happy with it, and we're very excited to share these stories with everyone. You know, you're going to see lots of different takes on the Rippaverse universe, partly through the exploration of different lore, partly by developing existing characters and doing whole new things and giving whole new perspectives on things. So it's a very interesting opportunity for us to tell cool stories. That gentleman there in the hat and the coat, that's my creation right there. And he's got a very interesting perspective on things that go on. I don't want to spoil too much of my own story by telling you too much about him, but let's just say he's got a big hand in everything that goes on within this universe.
How long has this been in development?
Oh, this is last year that we were first approached by this. I think it was Az who made me aware of it and said, yeah, the Rippaverse guys are interested in working with you. And so they got in touch with me and explained what they were looking to do and gave us real creative freedom on this one. They said, you can pretty much tell whatever story you want. I guess the only limitations is you can't kill off major characters or anything. And so I thought, excellent. This is a cool opportunity to tell a new story and help to expand this universe. So I went into it, presented them with my my ideas. They really liked it. And so I wrote the comic book outline, the panels and everything, and then we got a great artist involved who worked with me at every step of the way to develop this into the full graphical format that you're going to see at the end. And yeah, I'm very happy with what they've produced, and I think the work that they do at Rippaverse, the pipeline that they've got for creatives to then get into their universe and start developing stuff is just so efficient now, and it's so collaborative. I genuinely appreciated what they did for us. So, yeah, very much enjoyed it.
I mean, it's pretty cool project. Getting a bunch of people together, and you see Az right there. He's very excited. I think we actually have.
You'll probably see me in a second on this little trailer thing. So, yeah, that guy's my creation there.
Oh, look at that!
There I am. Yeah,
nice. That's got to be pretty cool. Seeing yourself turned into a really cool animation drawing right there.
I've been comicized, yeah.
Right. It wasn't. I didn't really know how to describe that, but yeah, it's pretty cool. We actually have footage of Az getting ready for it. There it is, right there, just hanging out, watching in the background. Good to see you guys. So yeah, this is available. You can pick it up right now for pre-order. Is that right?
It is, yes. So okay. I think they've got about a month and a half left to go before the campaign ends. So you've got a bit of time to pre-order your copies. They come all with multiple different covers, so you can pick the one that you like the most. But they're all going to be they'll all contain the same stories. It's just different front covers. And there's various bundles and so on that you can get.
Well, you only have 57 days, 11 hours, 37 minutes, and 15 seconds to go pick it up. So you better hurry your ass up, guys, and go check it out. So very cool, man. Congratulations on that. That's pretty neat, man. You've done a movie. You're doing comics. This is.
Yeah, we're making more movies. We did another crowdfunding campaign for more of them. So we're going to be filming them this summer. So 4 in total that we're going to be doing. One's going to be filmed over here in the UK. The others are in Canada. And yeah, we're really trying to expand what we do here. And one day, hopefully, we're going to get into a position where we can be almost like a mini production studio, where we can do our stories, we can do other people's ones, and really try and create that independent filmmaking pipeline that we really want to see more of. I know we're just a drop in the ocean compared to what Hollywood can do, but we're trying to start some kind of movement here where we can just get those independent voices out there and get them the exposure that they deserve. That's
how it starts. Hollywood wasn't Hollywood overnight. Someone had to be like, oh, wait, we're going to do this thing. And it's cool. So maybe,
well, one of the perks of what what we do here is like, especially, you know, us YouTubers who get a certain platform is like, well, okay, we can just sit and criticize other people's work, but it's more interesting and it's more useful to start creating your own stuff. And that's what we want to do here.
Yes, that's exactly right. I 100% agree with you. Like, we can talk about things all day long, but action is a huge part of it. And that's why I really appreciate, like, you know, what Eric's done with Rippaverse. You know, like it's been about action the entire time. And you're starting to see that more and more, where people are taking the initiative, and it's not just a one-off thing. They're actually creating full businesses out of their action, which is really amazing. I love to see that. So, well, cool, man. I look forward to learning more about the movies that you're going to be making. Maybe get into, like, I say TV, but TV's antiquated at this point. You don't need to make TV, you know, like, but well, cool. That's awesome, man. That's great. We do have some supers here. Wes says, Drinker, thanks for acknowledging how good Andor is, unlike TSWG. Oh, that's Star Wars girl, who keeps doubling down on how bad it is and discrediting herself. She admitted she was inbreed in the past. So is that inbreed?
And I assume inbred.
Yeah,
I know.
wow.
I don't know about that, but you know, like, look, credit where credit's due. Like, I've been a critic of Disney Star Wars, obviously, but like, when they produce something genuinely good, it's only fair to acknowledge it. And I think Andor is excellent. So I'm really pleased with how that turned out.
Is Star Wars turning the corner? As, like, I've seen each Star Wars one time. All right. I'm not a Star Wars guy by any means. Never have been a Star Wars guy. So, like, watching the fandom be so divided and critical. You got your, you know, it's just like in gaming. You have your groups that really love or shill for something. Then you have people who are critical, and then they're each calling each other toxic. And you know, but so Star Wars has not turned the corner.
I don't think this show is going to do it, no, because partly not enough people watched it, so it's not considered like a big success, and so they're probably not going to invest that kind of money in other shows similar to this. I think ultimately you're just going to get more slop made by guys like Dave Filoni. So yeah, unfortunately, Star Wars hasn't turned a corner. This was a blip. It was a nice blip, and I'm glad that we got it, but I think it'll be back to business as usual after this, sadly.
It's the old saying about the broken clock's right clock. The broken clock, right clock.
I think I know what you were going for.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes you get it right.
Sometimes they get the right creatives involved, and they get the guys who really like care about this stuff, and they do a good job. And I'm credit to them. They invested a lot of money in this. It probably didn't pay off financially, but creatively, it absolutely did. That's the best I can say, really.
Jay Thomas says, not to blabs, never drink with Irish and Scots. God invented alcohol so they wouldn't conquer the world. Lol. YouTube tries to censor this. It's funny because the first time we actually met, like within 5 minutes, we were like at a bar, which was like, I was like, oh, it's not just a clever handle for.
Well, to be fair, I'd been traveling for about 15 hours by that point. I was like, I need a fucking beer before I do anything else right now. So let's get to the nearest bar and we'll get ourselves sorted out. It
was awesome.
It was all good after that.
I appreciated it. Ian came in with 10 gifted memberships. Let's go, Ian. Thank you very much.
Ian, you legend, you.
It will.
What a stud. Do we have Kirsha bouncing up and down?
Oh, hang on. I got to find her. Where is she? There she is.
There she is. Good to see you, Kirsha. Thank you very much for your bouncing right there. That's wonderful. Snooty came in with the 5. Says, Side Strollers and Drinker for the win. Go away now. What's up, Rumble Chat? Because Rumble Chat is where it's at. All right, Snooty. Okay. Can we just talk about like the whole go away now thing for a second? All right, I'm sure people have asked you about this, but like it is 100% the exact opposite of what YouTube tells you to do, right? Like YouTube's like, keep them on your platform. Let them know to watch another video or subscribe. And you're just like, yeah, get the fuck out. Like, it's pretty great.
I love the idea of like I'm kind of almost forced to review stuff and like I don't really want to, and so people just kind of bother me to ask for my opinion, and then I'm like, okay, there's your review, now fuck off. And so I don't know, it just seemed fun, and I was never really comfortable with this idea of like, hey, if you like my video, then subscribe and leave a like and a comment and stuff. Like I always figured people are going to do that if they want to. You know, that's the whole point. Like if people like your content, then they will subscribe to you. You don't have to ask them to do it. And so yeah, just do the exact opposite and then just see how it plays out. And I guess it worked out okay in my case.
Well, the problem is that people don't like our content. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button. We'd really appreciate that. Let's go.
No, wait. Tell them to fuck off. Like, that's what you need to do.
Why don't you go fuck? No, don't do that. Fuck off, everybody. There you go. I like that. That'll be a reoccurring thing on the channel. Now, hey, everybody, go fuck off.
Yeah.
There's the code word right there. Code word. CT Hero says, Craig, do you like the Final Destination movies? If so, you should ask Drinker about Final Destination Bloodlines. I mean, I'm aware of them.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Final Destination Bloodlines?
Yeah, I just reviewed it. So it's a lot of fun. Like, I described it as absolute brain dead, stupid garbage, but I love it. And that's exactly what I want from a Final Destination movie. Like, that just typified the sort of 2000s era in sort of horror films where they were happy to just have fun with it. And the whole point of the Final Destination films is like, what's the next death going to be? Like, what is this crazy Rube Goldberg machine of events that they're going to set up to get this next person killed? And it's just fun to watch, man. And they captured that spirit with this new one. And I can't believe it's been almost 15 years since we had the last one. That's crazy. How long it's been, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I say, it's not high art or anything. It's no Citizen Kane. I don't need it to be. I just need it to be a fun, entertaining little ride. And I was genuinely laughing my ass off at some of the deaths in that movie. And it's actually a really nice farewell to Tony Todd, who's been an actor who's appeared throughout the Final Destination franchise. Obviously, people know him for things like Candyman, stuff like that. He was actually dying of cancer, sadly, when he filmed this latest movie. And his final lines were ad-libbed by him. The director said, like, your character is saying goodbye to everyone now. You can just say whatever you want to the audience. And he just delivered this beautiful little monologue before leaving. And I think there's something really poignant about that. You know, a man who knows he's only got so much time left and just wants to enjoy the time that he has. And I think that's a pretty neat thing that he was able to do there. So
that is cool. Do you have a favorite death in the Final Destination franchise that you just keep going back to? You're like, that's really fucking funny.
There's a bit where like a guy gets caught in a drive-through by like a truck that like crashes into his car behind. The engine comes out of it and like slices his head apart. Like, that's kind of funny. The one that always stuck with me is really horrific is like the girls who are on like tanning beds. And like they get locked inside and like the temperature just keeps going up and up until they like catch fire and stuff. I just thought, good God, that's a horrible way to go.
It's like just the idea that tanning beds turn into like a 750-degree oven and they're just burning to death.
Yeah. It's stupid.
It's fucking great. Oh, man. Give it up for these wonderful supporters over at Side Scrollers Plus. Thank you guys very much. I'm sorry I can't read them, but I genuinely appreciate you guys becoming members over at Side Scrollers Plus. NPC says Razor looks different today. Oh no.
Yeah. I had a haircut.
Master Gawa came in and says, please check out the Kickstarter for Tannen. It's the only game to attempt dynamic cutting mechanics since Metal Gear Rising. It has 7 days left, and it won't make it without much word of mouth. All right. Tannen. Thank you very much. Thanks, Master Gawa. All right. Give it up for Not That Jones Show, who became a brand new member over here on the channel. And Silent Cool Ranch Doritos wants to know, would you interview Brett Cooper?
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure what I'd interview her about, but I could interview her. I mentioned this when I did my like video about Snow White, how the Daily Wire were doing one. Honestly, for a long time, I thought Brett Cooper was a man just because of the name.
She looks so much like freaking Ben Shapiro too.
I mean, it's like, I'd never seen her, so I just saw the name Brett Cooper, and I thought, that sounds like a proper man's name. Like, I feel like he's a lumberjack, and he's got a big beard and stuff, and he wears flannel shirts. But
like,
apparently
she's
not.
Gorgeous. I'm not shitting on her, but she does have a little bit of a facial structure that's similar to Ben Shapiro as well.
Are you saying that Ben Shapiro is gorgeous?
No.
Oh, okay.
She's very pretty.
You know, as you were saying this, you were thinking about you're talking about how you imagined her, and this may be a deep cut for you. I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember in the late '90s? Do you know who William Regal is, the wrestler?
Yeah, I know William Regal.
Right. Do you remember his gimmick of the man's man gimmick, where he dressed in like full flannel and such? He came down.
Oh, I missed that era of William Regal. Good Lord.
It was so good. It was so good. Anyways, that's how I imagine Brett Cooper dressing.
I did when I did my video, I managed to find like slow-mo footage of like a guy walking through the forest with like an axe for felling trees, and he had a big beard and like the flannel shirt and everything. And I was like, this is how I imagine Brett fucking Cooper to look. But yeah, apparently not.
No, she looks the complete opposite right there. Master Gawa came back with another 10, says, once again, I recommend you get Norosama on the show as a guest. Kirsch's VTuber friend Filian streams with Norosama often, but Vidal is usually looking for those brave enough to be roasted by her. Yes, 1000%. Are you familiar with, we talked about this yesterday, Drinker, but this is a AI VTuber named Norosama. Have you heard of this before? The idea of an AI streamer?
What devilry is this? This is like an affront to God and science and nature all combined. So what? Like, it doesn't even have like a person behind it. It's just an AI that runs.
So I watched a video about it yesterday because I was learning about it. So this guy created it like several years ago, and it's kind of grown and morphed. And they have this weird, like, it's going to sound really fucked up. They have this weird like family dynamic where he's the dad and he has this AI daughter, but
this is how horror movies start, man. I'm telling you.
Then they have another daughter that is just called Evil, and the reason why they gave her this other AI character is because they updated the speech and they didn't want to update the speech on the regular character, so they gave it to a sister. And they have this weird like family. It's nuts. It's a really crazy world. And apparently this VTuber and the person behind it at one time was like the most subscribed to Twitch channel. They had like a big VTuber. I don't know. It's nuts, man. It's wildly successful, and they've done very, very well. So,
and you could just leave this AI running, right? And not actually have to do anything yourself, and just let it collect money for you.
Hypothetically, I guess. I mean, in theory, if it's AI, it never has to sleep, but it
could be streaming 24/7.
Yeah, for sure.
That's horrible.
I know, it's weird. Look, we're gonna get to AI here in a little bit. We talked a lot about AI yesterday. We're gonna get to it today. But right now, let's get into this. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. Friends, it's time for Hard News. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I did not plan this by any means, but we've talked Street Fighter this morning. We have talked wrestling this morning. And it just so coincides with our first story today that there are reports that Roman Reigns of WWE fame will be playing Akuma in the Street Fighter movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't expect to see that, but honestly, kind of makes sense if you're going for like the look and feel. Now,
I see the resemblance.
Yeah. Are you familiar with who Roman Reigns is over here?
I do. I know Roman Reigns. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it actually kind of makes a little bit of sense. I mean, is Roman Reigns Japanese? No. Will people be upset for cultural appropriation? I don't know. But I don't know. Thoughts on the casting of Roman Reigns as Akuma in Street Fighter?
I mean, he's got the physicality for it for sure. I mean, this is the trouble you're always going to have if you're doing something like Street Fighter. So many of the characters are so outlandish, so huge. Where can you go apart from wrestlers or bodybuilders or something to get that kind of physicality, that kind of crazy size? Yeah, I mean, sure. Like, wrestlers are probably a logical choice because they've at least got some ability to remember lines and deliver them. So sure.
Roman Reigns has said he wants to like make the jump to Hollywood. He wants to be the next Rock, the next John Cena.
Yeah, that's the career path for every wrestler, isn't it? Like, wrestle in your 20s and 30s and then start to move over to doing films and stuff where your body doesn't take so much punishment anymore.
He's it's really kind of, it all started with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was the first guy to really make that jump in the 80s,
Yeah.
with Mr. Nanny and those movies.
Those Oscar winning things, like what was that wrestling one that he did? Was it No Holds Barred?
Yeah, right, dude.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, there was a lot. I watched Suburban Commando recently with Christopher Lloyd, where he gets frozen. Have you ever seen that before? Suburban Commando?
Once, I think, in the early 90s. So I was like properly young at the time.
It's not
remember it.
Not worth going back and revisiting. But,
No, he basically did, like, he got to like the stage of doing Tropic Thunder, where it was like a TV show, and then I think after that he kind of faded out. Maybe done his bit as a movie star. Didn't quite work out. But yeah, The Rock like took what he did and then just made it actually successful.
You wonder who, like John Cena, he's not exactly a big star. He's kind of like, I don't know.
He's working on it.
Yeah. You think he's going to make the next step when it comes to his acting career?
I think so, yeah. Like Peacemaker and stuff was pretty well received. I think he's got good comedy timing. Like he's got that very deadpan sense of humor. So I think he'll probably do okay as a movie star. Probably not to the same level as The Rock, because he doesn't have that same level of charisma. But I think he'll do fairly well. Man, I'm looking at. Did you ever see Ricky Stenicki? That was, I think, it was a Netflix film last year. No, I didn't see that. So the premise is he's a hired actor whose job is to come in and play a friend for a group of guys, because I don't know, what it was a group of guys made up a friend called Ricky Stenicki. So they had to hire him to kind of be the fall guy for all of their lies over the years. And it's actually pretty funny. And it's John Cena being John Cena while trying to play somebody else. But it's a nice little watch if you want to turn off your brain for a little bit. Good stuff. Oh, fair. I'm looking through his filmography here, and I didn't know that was he in Barbie? I had no idea. He played a Ken in Barbie. I didn't know that. So, anyways. I was a cameo, I think. Okay, yeah.
The fact that Barbie's already 2 years old is mind-blowing.
I know. That is kind of crazy, actually.
Isn't it? That feels like yesterday, but it's already been 2 years.
I mean, he's got a pretty extensive, filmography.
Yeah, a lot of. I didn't know he was in Fred the movie. Oh my gosh, Fred! Wow.
Hey, everybody, it's Fred.
Yeah, Blaz,
he was pretty good in Fast and the Furious. I think he was in like 2 or 3 of those movies. I think he got a start in the Marine. That was the WWE film, right? They tried really hard to launch that. They did. It didn't quite work out for him, but I mean, it launched a lot of their stars into potential other opportunities there. So, all right. Hayden Wayne says part of the fun with Neurosama is the AI interaction with streamers or the chat. We'd love to see you guys interview Vidal, then bring on Nora at the end, and maybe even Evil. No filter for a bit. I understood everything that you said there because I watched that video yesterday, Hayden. But everybody who doesn't know probably has no idea what you just said. And so, yes to all that. I think I'd be totally interested in that. Thank you, Hayden. Mercenary came in and says, "I was frozen today." That's from Suburban Commando. And holy shit, Sean came in with the massive 100. Jeez Louise, there you go. Congratulations. We reward. I need to do that on open bar whenever we get a big donation. That's right. We just reward with breasts, which is great. Yeah. Sean says, "Hello, drinker. Huge fan. Was introduced to your content by my old man and enjoy sitting down and laughing at your videos with him. Also, thank you so much, Craig. It makes me happy to see weebs and conservatives working on the same side these days. Huge white pill." Well, thank you, Sean. Appreciate your support. And isn't that interesting that Sean's dad introduced him to you? So you're a generational talent now. I have become multi-generational. Yeah. I remember at a con, I think it was last year, where a guy came up to me and he said, like, "Oh yeah, I grew up watching your videos." And I thought, oh fuck, you're making me feel old now. Have I been around that long? Yeah. Oh man, been there. Like, I literally tell people, thanks for growing up with me. I've been on the internet for so freaking long doing this, and people are like, yeah, I used to watch you when I was 13 years old, and now they have a mortgage and kids and families, and like the kids are the same age when they started watching me. It's pretty fucked up. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate that, and Sean, really appreciate your wonderful support. I'm glad you inspired Drinker to add boobs to
to open bar, which is good.
I'm going to see if I can do that tonight, actually, when we get a big donation.
Thank you, Blast. We have all sorts of different boobs for the show. So hopefully we can give Drinker lots of examples today. No. Hold off on that, Blabs. You just relax, okay? Apparently we have a meme here from Lex. What do we got here, Blabs?
All right, let me remove. Okay, here we go. I came back to warn you that movies in the future suck.
Yeah, no one heeded my warning.
There you go. Thank you. Oh, number 4. Man, no thanks.
4.
No thanks. Give it up for Rigor Mortis, who says, speaking of WWE, DSP has spent $100,000 on WWE Champions. Thank you for the latest Dark Side Phil update on WWE Champions. Appreciate that. All right, we'll get to every single one of your super chats throughout the duration of the show. We appreciate you guys and allowing us to do this on a day-to-day basis and become members over at Side Scrollers Plus. Thank you guys very much. All right, Drinker, you said you were in Orlando not too long ago.
Yes.
How was the? Did you see a lot of marketing for Epic Universe, the new Universal park that's coming out?
I absolutely did, yeah. So I'd been there twice this year. I was there in February for MegaCon, and then I was again in April for a vacation. And they were really ramping up the marketing for Epic Universe. I mean, if you go into like Universal, there's like a whole section there for like the plans for the park. Like obviously it's just opened, but back then it hadn't, and there was like a huge model of the whole place. And it looks impressive. Like it looks really interesting. I think this could be not a Disney killer, but they are definitely going to be worried about this because Universal now is a real threat to them.
Yeah, well, it opened today, and from our perspective, one of the biggest portions of the park that people are really excited about is Super Nintendo World. And Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Mario and Donkey Kong, Zelda, and all the stuff, he was there to help open it up, and pretty fun stuff. You know, these are obviously super prepackaged photos, but hey, man, it's very cool. Miyamoto's getting up at age. He's like 70-something, and he's still getting around town.
Hey, the dude looks pretty good for 70, man.
I agree, man.
I look that good.
Here is the grand opening, thanks to Park Hopping for this video here. So pretty fun, you know. You get to go there.
They did that for every single portal. So they had like actors from Harry Potter come in for the Harry Potter one. They had like How to Train Your Dragon characters for How to Train Your Dragon. Like they had vampires and Frankenstein all that for the monsters one. It was really cool to see what they did for each portal.
It's an easy win, I think, for Universal, like because they have got access to so many properties, like beyond what Disney can do, that it's silly not to make use of them. And yeah. It's funny, like how they've developed Harry Potter over the years, because you can see how they started small and then started adding things, and then they're like, oh, okay, we need like a Harry Potter area, and now they've got this like whole new park. Like, well, there needs to be a Harry Potter there as well. It would have been so much easier if they just had like a Harry Potter land, like a whole theme park.
Well, actually, this new portal was supposed to be all Fantastic Beasts, which is why it's Paris. But then the movies kind of flopped, and so they changed course and moved it back to Harry Potter. So the ride is Harry Potter, but like Paris is not Harry Potter. It's Fantastic Beasts. So fun fact.
Right.
Well,
they had to change course in production. They're like, shit, it flopped. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Speaking of flopping, Blabs, you were watching the live stream for this.
Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. So context, last night they started a live stream where they call like a premiere carpet or a blue carpet, whatever, and they had interviews and people and like influencers. And they were interviewing like the top dogs in this live stream that honestly was just so badly choreographed because like there'd be awkward pauses and cameras on when nobody would be there. It was not a well-made production. I'll just say that. However, so the first thing they did was they interviewed the CEO of Experiences and Destinations. So like, you know, one of their top dogs. And they asked him, because they were talking about the Harry Potter portal and everything. And they asked him, what is your favorite Hogwarts house? And he responds back with Hippogriff. And it's like, that is so embarrassing that you can't even answer that with some bullshit. There's only 4 answers that you can do, and you just go with an animal. It's like,
yeah.
I'd uninstall. That was really embarrassing. But the worst thing was a little sneak peek of someone just walking on through, and I know Craig has that pulled up, so I'll just let you play it because it's too funny.
Sounds good. We'll get to this, and Drinker, I know you got to roll here in just a little bit, so we'll roll through this. But here's one instance where it was kind of a poor production on the blue carpet last night.
We're going to switch it up a little bit here. Showbit has someone so special walking past on the carpet, and we don't want to miss him. So let's go to Showbit. Oh.
And that was
brilliant. It. Awesome stuff.
And they're so awkward. They're like,
That's when you don't rehearse or anything. Just wing it.
And you can tell what's funny is he's definitely queued up right there. When they go to him, he's standing there waiting for the finger to go. He's like, hey, here it is. And then he looks.
So let's go to Showbit.
Okay, here I am. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, the live chat was laughing their asses off. I had to go back and replay. I was like, no way that just happened.
Well, we got they are printing money at this place though, because look, I don't know, Drinker, do you know who Jeff Keighley is?
Jeff Keighley, the name's familiar, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Jeff Keighley is the #1 video game journalist in the history of all time. That's who Jeff Keighley is. He's also extremely vanilla, but he also charges. He runs the Game Awards as well. Like he's like the main guy behind that. Okay, he was there, and he tweeted this out. He said, "Running up a tab at Super Nintendo World, total $3,000, $3,260 for his tab right here." Yes, that's
the sort of tab that would put me to shame.
It's crazy. And I just said, you can afford this when your award show charges $250,000 for a 60-second commercial. So good for him.
Wow.
Like, no shade, man, but good for him being able to rack up nearly $3,500 at Super Nintendo World.
It's so easy though. If you look at the merch prices for the new theme park, like a shirt is $50.
Oh yeah, you always get ripped off in theme parks though. Yeah. You're crazy to buy anything from them.
I am crazy, yes.
And Blaz will be spending all of her money. Very
yeah, I went shopping already yesterday.
I'm sure you did. All right, I know we only have for a little bit of time. So do you want to talk Harvey Weinstein or do you want to talk AI?
Oh, good Lord, that's quite the choice. Let's talk AI.
Okay. All right. So yesterday, Google officially announced this product called Google VO 3. And it is an AI generating filmmaker tool, right? And what I saw yesterday, I've been fascinated by this since I saw it. And my entire timeline on X has been inundated with the short 8-second clips that can be generated via this tool, Google VO 3. So I wanted to share some of these. This is a Twitter thread that I saw. It says, drop a reply and I'll generate your prompt here, right? So the unique thing about this is that it will use a speak and sound, whereas previous AI didn't really do that. So we can kind of take a look at some of these things here. So we have this short trailer for a new movie, Garden of Eden, the Reclamation of Earth concept. And they put this whole thing out here, and this is what it generated with that. You got a little 8-second teaser there, right? Pretty neat.
I mean, very much like those, what if Star Wars was done in 1950s Panavision or whatever?
Yes. Yes. A worker getting to a station to commence his work at the Great Pyramid in Giza. He's passing plenty of other people who perform different works in the background. The pyramid is halfway finished. Here we go. We can take a look at this one real fast. Okay, so that was generated just with that simple prompt, right?
Right.
I don't. As you see these things, what are your thoughts on this as literally a filmmaker at this point?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty rudimentary at this point, but again, the interesting aspect of it and the danger of it lies in its potential. Because could we get to this point where AI can just generate entire movies for us? And where does it stop? Can we say okay, I want you to make a sequel to Return of the Jedi using all the original actors and create this storyline that I've come up with, and it can potentially do it for you. It could potentially create this for you. What does it mean for the likenesses of all these actors, these performers, the legacy of what they've done? And then where does it end up in terms of like copyright and people being able to share this stuff online? You know, does the whole art of filmmaking just cease to be because everyone is just telling their own stories the way they want them to be told? Yeah, I don't know. Like, because like I say, this technology is still very rudimentary right now, but 5 years from now, like it's unimaginable where it's going to be, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get more sophisticated and more powerful. Yeah, like it's a scary prospect because I think it takes the humanity out of making a film. It takes the heart and soul out of it and the toil out of it. Because like this thing can render anything you can imagine, and to the point where it's so photorealistic you can't tell the difference. But man, like people used to slave away to make movies with like practical effects, with actors, with scripts, with everything that goes into it. Where's that going to end up?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a situation where there's going to be a lot of people are going to embrace this, right, in a major way. But I do think that there's going to be a novelty for practical effects where people will really enjoy seeing, a practical face get melted on like Indiana Jones or something like that. Right. I certainly think there will be an audience for that. I think it'll be considerably smaller because most people will just want to nom, 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 eat it up, but
I think the best case scenario is that it might allow very low budget productions to have amazing special effects that they couldn't have done otherwise, right? Which would be great because like, you want to do a sci-fi movie or whatever, but you've only got like $100,000 to spend on it. Well, okay, you're not going to be able to do those big space battles or whatever that you might want to do. A tool like this might allow you to do that, but you pair it with scenes that are indoors with actors like actually doing the performances and driving the bulk of the story, and this is just used as a visual effects tool. Fair enough, that's great. But yeah, the danger is like it's just going to get to the point where the entire thing is generated by AI. We're at that point now where AI is generating entire novels that can be sold on Amazon. And again, they're probably garbage right now, but it'll only get more sophisticated as time passes. And what does that mean? Our entertainment is not even made by us. We're not telling stories to ourselves anymore. We're letting machines dictate our stories that we tell ourselves. We're going to lose something very important if that happens, I think.
I agree. But I'll tell you what, while there are a lot of really interesting prompts, there's one over here about a megalodon here coming out of the water here. Let me show this real fast. Pretty damn good, if I'm being really honest with you. Pretty impressive. Obviously, the 8 second. Pretty
cool.
Yes, the 8 second barrier here, that'll obviously be expanded. Right now they can only make it in like 8 second clips, but you can do some wonderful things in 8 seconds. And I saw this one, and I legitimately laughed my ass off here. This was created using the prompt "Latinas throwing a autism reveal party," right? Which I didn't know there were such things as an autism reveal party, but let's see how this went here with the Latinas in the autism reveal.
It's an artist. I always wanted a little artist. It's an artist.
What?
I have no idea. It's just so fucking funny.
I always wanted a little artist.
I love how it's a clown as well. Like that's their vision of autism.
That's actually a really good point. The idea that it's a clown popping. Just one more time.
It's an artist. I always wanted a little artist.
They all laugh about it.
The lady in blue looks like she's gonna kill her when it's zoomed in on her face. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
If you go back, she looks like she's about to stab her.
What, in the background here?
Yeah, in blue. Look at her. She's like, "I will end you."
Well, the fact that
are the women all AI generated as well?
Yes, everything in this is AI generated.
Yeah,
everything, which is scary, like beyond scary, because they look like real women.
They do, yeah.
Which is terrifying. And then this clown, even worse, with his crazy AI eyes over here. He looks a little crazy and terrifying.
I can definitely see this getting abused, like I said earlier, with say taking actors that have passed away now or have aged out of their roles and bringing back their likenesses. Like imagine I want to do another James Bond movie with Sean Connery when he was still like 30 years old. Okay, I could do that now because this AI can just like de-age him, no problem.
We've seen recently have you seen the Fortnite Darth Vader AI stuff that's been being passed around?
Yeah, and people can make him say whatever they want, and of course you can imagine how that gets abused.
Right. And SAG-AFTRA has been really upset because they didn't get a piece of the pie with the transaction. So there's that. All right, we got some big supers we got to get to. I know you got to roll here in a minute, so let's get to these really fast. Ian says soon AI will be able to remake Citizen Kane in the style of, I'm not even sure, how do you say that?
Taika Waititi.
Okay. This needs to be stopped. Well, Ian, that doesn't need to be stopped. And once again, we've given Drinker just wonderful ideas on how to enhance his content, which is great. Thank you, Ian.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought with that one.
Well, you got more coming right here. As Dr. T.S. King says, the block at the Great Pyramids were quarried and chiseled nowhere close to it and were then dragged up to their place. Also, the workers there would have been more drunk as the workers were fed a steady diet of beer, bread, and meat by the pharaoh. All right.
Yeah, that sounds all right to me.
Yeah, all you need to do is move several ton blocks up a giant
well, it's a good workout, you know.
Your Barmy says 38-second clips next. Okay, sounds good. We have this from Darian says the show House of David uses AI video. There are these vision/dream shots of angels that are AI. I've also seen visual effects houses switch to AI. Hey, Blabs, do you think you'll ever use any AI? I mean, it's tough to say like ever, but do you foresee using it as a tool or just kind of shying away from it in general in your productions?
Well, again, like I think the good middle ground would be like, okay, we can use AI to film like a big action sequence or something that would just be beyond our budget otherwise. Like maybe that might be a tool for it. I'm not sure. As a concept, though, I really don't like it, and I don't like how it's created and what it means.
Sure. I agree with you. I think you're going to see the potential of, John Wayne coming back to life or Charlie Chaplin coming back to life, and I use that in quotations here, but all right, I know you got to bounce, but I wanted to give you an opportunity one more time to talk more about Saints and Sinners 1.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's an anthology series that myself and a few other YouTube creators have partnered up with the Rippaverse to produce. It's all fully illustrated. I've seen the artwork for it, really looking fantastic. And each story has got its own unique style. Each one is its own independent creation by each of these authors. And I'm, really excited to share it with everyone. The reception to it has been fantastic so far. We want to carry on with that. There's about 2 months left for people to put their orders in for it. So there's plenty of time. But if you're interested in it, then please do go over to the Rippaverse and have a look at it.
Only 57 days left. So get on it. Get on it.
Yes.
Drinker, thanks for hanging out with us today, buddy. Appreciate you.
It's been awesome, man. Thank you.
Cool. Looking forward to the next time, man. And congratulations on everything. Kicking ass.
Thanks, guys. Catch you later.
Bye, buddy. See you.
Bye.
Enjoy those boobs tonight.
I will.
All right. All right. There's Critical Drinker. Once again, the link down below. Appreciate him hanging out with us today. We have much more shows, so don't go anywhere, guys. Stick with us a little bit longer. Very, very excited. If you guys are just joining us, today we announced our first big production we're going to be doing. We have a huge premium live event that we're putting together. It's happening in just a few weeks called King of the Couch, happening Saturday, June 14th, exclusively on Side Scrollers Plus. So it'll be a Saturday evening. Looking forward to joining you guys for that exclusively for our members over at Side Scrollers Plus. So please head over, go to sidescrollersplus.com and use promo code KING to get $30 off your annual membership. When you become a member over there, you get access to all of our productions, including, if King of the Couch goes well, other events in the future. So we'd love your support over there and allowing us to fund these big events. We're flying a bunch of folks into Dallas. It's going to be a great time. Looking forward to it, including Blabs in Phoenix, which makes sense because we were talking about Blabs in Phoenix coming in town over the next couple of weeks, which is good.
Buc-ee's.
She's going back to Buc-ee's, boys, which is good. There we go. All right, let's keep moving on, Blabs. We still have a lot to go with a lot of things to talk about today. So it's just you and I flying solo the rest of the way. We realize a lot of you guys are going to bounce. Please don't stick with us a little bit longer. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, or go away now, as Drinker would say. Okay, let's get to a couple supers real fast. Edwin says AI vid generators work better for storyboarding, in my opinion. There are definitely tools to use. Sorry, we didn't get. We see a lot of supers for Drinker. Sorry, we didn't get a chance. He was only with us for a little bit of time, but genuinely appreciate y'all's support. We will have some of those scrolling on the bottom of the screen as we go along. But Blabs, what do you say we go on a side adventure? We don't use this very.
Yes, let's go.
All right, let's do it. Let's hop on. Hey, get your goodie bags out and let's get on the trail.
Where are you off to? Can't stop, I'm already late. Late for what? I'm going on an adventure.
All right.
I forgot about the fart that Phoenix did on it.
Everybody loves farts. Everybody does.
I'm going on an adventure. I'm good.
Hey, look at how happy this makes you.
I just forgot. I forgot about the farts.
There you go. Always at the end. All right, little side adventure here as we have big news. Big news in the world of finance, guys. The U.S. will stop making pennies starting next year. The penny is officially obsolete.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
not happy about it, actually.
You're not?
No. So, do you know what a penny press is? Remember at Buc-ee's, I wanted a penny?
Oh, I see. Okay.
I have a little jar on like a desk over there. It's like a little magic potions jar, and I keep some shiny pennies in there. So when I go on adventures and stuff, I can get a shiny penny press. But they won't be able to do those anymore. So all those machines are what? Going to become obsolete? What are we going to do here?
This is interesting. Because you may be, well, I'm not necessarily interested about the penny press because it'll eventually be like the dime press or the nickel press.
Or they do like what Japan does, and you give them a couple yen, and it's not the yen that becomes the press. It's like the metal inside the machine already is ready to go.
Yeah,
and they just cut it for you.
Right. That'll certainly be a thing. But you may be asking yourself, what happens if something is, I don't know, $3.78, right? What happens then? You may be asking yourself. Well, we have an answer. As 1 cent coins are expected to be stopped circulation early next year, businesses will need to round prices up or down. So that $3.78 now becomes $3.80 because they can't give you pennies back anymore. Not that anybody really uses pennies
Except
anymore,
for me, I guess.
Or cash. When was the last time you paid with cash, Blabs?
Many times actually. Yeah. Listen, I'd rather use cash than credit card. I know I'm old fashioned.
No, and I love that about you, Blabs. That's great.
Although in Canada they stopped using the pennies. I think it was in 2014. Yeah. 2013, 2014. So.
Wait. So Canada stopped using the pennies in 2014. Look what Canada's become since then.
Exactly. That's what I'm kind of saying. Shit. Like since 2013, 2014, they discontinued the Canadian penny. So I don't know. I don't really know if Canada's a great, metric to look at to compare ourselves with.
We're fucked. We are so fucked. Oh no. All right. Well, shit. Well,
you know what? Chat's right though. There goes the 99-cent stores. Dollar General is taking over.
As pointed out also in the chat by SD0, says they cost more to produce. Yes, when they are
expensive.
Yeah, they cost like 2 cents for every 1 penny that's produced. So, like from that aspect, it totally makes sense because the government is running it. Is being run like a business now. So, if you're doing something that's not profitable to hand out something that's kind of obsolete, then it makes a little bit of sense, doesn't it? So, there we go. All right. Well, there's a quick little side adventure for you guys. I'm sorry that you'll be losing your penny press, Blabs.
Well, you got to think about like what the repercussions from it. Like these companies that make them, you got to wonder what they're gonna go to. They're gonna just go to random ass metals. They're gonna go to dimes or quarters or whatever. And I mean, they've even like if you pay attention from years ago, it used to be like a quarter or 2 quarters, and now it's like 3 quarters minimum to get a penny. It's like greedy bitches. Anyway,
listen. I understand your pain, Blabs. I get it. Yeah. But I think you'll be all right.
I will be too. I'm just like, man, I've been collecting since I was a child. I actually have like tons of penny press booklets and like tons. and just wherever you go, it's like, oh, I went here. That's cool. Doop.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
Way to go, Blabs.
Thank you.
Sorry, your hobby's been ruined by the U.S. government. Damn it, Trump again! And I'm just gonna... Stephen Miller came in with a 5, says, if we can't get Craig to eat a cucumber taco and Blabs eating at Olive Garden, we can at least generate an AI video and say you guys did. There you go, Stephen Miller. Thank you. Appreciate that greatly. Cookie for 2 saying, Penny, for your thoughts on the elimination of pennies. Well, now we know. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Thanks for your 200 pennies for that. Gary's Gaming says you should have Clayton Morris on the show. I don't know who Clayton Morris is, but we'll obviously take a look for sure. We have this from Benjamin. I'm sorry that we couldn't get it for Drinker. By the way, lads, we do have any supers for Drinker. Just have them scroll on the bottom. Know that we appreciate them greatly, and your support allows us to do what we do on a day-to-day basis. So there we go. We have a trailer, Blabs, for a documentary for something that was one of the most fascinating stories of the last few years, at least to me, which was the story of Titan.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah. Controller with a Logitech. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think this happened like right when our show started. I feel like
it did, because Travis was still here.
Okay.
About it.
So Titan was the submarine that went down in the water and then just like imploded on itself. And everyone got turned into mist in like a fraction of a second. Crazy story. Nuts. Well, naturally, Netflix is hopping on board and they have invested in a documentary about it. So let's go ahead and check out the trailer for this. I am truly fascinated by this, but
have you seen this trailer yet?
I saw a little. I don't remember it. Let's put it that way. I watched it earlier, but I forgot it already.
There was no way of knowing when Titan was going to fail, but it was a mathematical certainty that it would fail. Stockton saw an opportunity to restart tourist visits to Titanic.
Stockton fully believed in what he was doing and that it would work. He wanted fame. To fuel his ego, fame.
I have no desire to die. I understand this kind of risk.
I thought Stockton was a borderline psychopath. How do you manage a person like that who owns the company?
This is one of the safest things I will ever do.
Nobody spoke up. You would ruin somebody's life.
Stockton said Bonnie is going to be our next lead pilot. Are you nuts? I'm an accountant.
No one's dying under my watch. Period.
And everybody died.
Except for everybody aboard.
So I'll watch this because this is a really fascinating story, but I have like issues with the way some of these are presented, right? When you deal with somebody like this or a situation or a tragedy like this, it's very easy to dance on people's literal graves.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You
Look
see
at
this
Titanic and 9/11.
Right. You see this all the stinking time, right? And the idea of like documentaries, there's documentaries in theory are supposed to present you the facts. And that's the idea of a documentary. Present you the facts as is. That's not how this goes, right? There's always slants and ways people feel about certain people or topics. There wasn't a positive thing said about that guy during that, right? Not about his risk taking. Not like I said, he could be a total bitch. He could have been a total asshole. Could have been a total scam artist. But it still takes some fucking balls to get in a ship and go down, down to the depths of the ocean, or at least attempt to. I don't know. I think it's like that should be covered in this story. And maybe I'm on a little bit of a I don't know, a black pill documentary thing, because I watched another Netflix documentary last night about Brett Favre, and like the way do you know anything about Brett Favre, Blabs?
No.
Okay, Brett Favre was a quarterback for the Packers for a long time. He's one of the greatest players in the NFL history, right? That's like the number one byline, right? Is Brett Favre was a Hall of Fame quarterback for the Packers. Well, I watched this documentary on Brett Favre last night, and it's like Brett Favre is a quarterback, and here's all the shit that he did wrong, right?
No.
And like, yes, he did yes, he certainly was fucked up, but that doesn't mean there wasn't other people to blame in some of these instances, right? Like he, and I'm not saying that like what Brett Favre did with this, like there's a situation where this girl who worked for the New York Jets when Brett Favre played there later in the career, like Brett Favre was like totally hitting on her, and he sent her like dick pics and stuff. But it was really bad, right? But this girl, like she was literally selling sex. That was her entire thing. Was she was like super skimpy. She had her tits hanging out, and like she was selling sex. Brett Favre wanted to buy it, right? So like, I feel like
both bad,
right? And just look, Brett Favre is the majority in the wrong here, to be totally clear. But anyways, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. The way the kind of the things that were presented in it, because it was just like, and I think that's what's going to happen with this Titan documentary here, right? Is like, yes, it takes a lot of balls to do something like this. It'll be like, he wanted to do this, and here's what fucking happened. It was a disaster, and why he's a shitty person. And I don't know. I'm kind of black-pilled when it comes to documentaries right now, and it kind of makes me upset. Now, for the record,
the Titan trailer made you upset.
Well, like I said, I'm kind of black-pilled on just documentaries right now, specifically from Netflix. But it did cost $105,000 to ride this little rinky-dink submarine, right?
Powered by Logitech.
It was 105. Look, a controller, like whether it's a Logitech
whether it's
controller,
like a PlayStation controller, what the fuck?
Well, I'm just saying, like if it's a PlayStation, like do people look at it different? Like we can all laugh at it being a Logitech third-party controller.
No.
Right?
I'm literally laughing at it. It's a controller that was literally operated by a controller. I don't care if it was like Logitech or Sony or PlayStation or whatever. The fact that it's a controller, a video game controller for something.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that's nuts. That's why I keep saying powered by Logitech, because like that is just wow.
But what I'm saying is, whether it's Logitech or a first-party controller, like people are still gonna laugh at it, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, like I got this sweet Xbox 360 controller. I play with it on my PC all the time, right?
Yeah, but
like
you're not like thousands of feet underwater, are you?
but I can control things wonderfully. It's so good.
Yeah.
I can be if I play.
That D-pad's really, really great, man.
It's you know, not the best. There you go. Marius came in and says there's a difference between being brave and being stupid. That's right. Robot Dude says Craig, dude hired based on DEI, didn't want boring white dudes with experience. Oh,
yeah, this is true. Yeah, if you do, you might not remember this, but we talked about it on the stream where the guy was all like not wanting to hire the white guys. I was like, no, we need more diversity.
I do remember this. I do. Will this be brought up in the documentary?
Possibly, because it led to all their deaths.
Oof. Great White Shark came and says Netflix is pure and utter slop. McDonald's is better. There you go. Marmalin came in with the 10, says people make fun of the controller, but that's pretty standard for subs. The issue was it being wireless and not wired.
Oh my god, it was wireless.
Shut up, Marmalin. That can't be real.
The best connection ever.
Wow.
Wow.
Next up says I know you love cinema music. Ever listen to Piero Piccioni?
Beautiful music, very 60s. As a fellow Italian, you should listen to it later, Fig. So I looked him up. I don't think I've ever heard his music before, but that doesn't mean maybe I've not.
Piccioni! Get those hands out, y'all. Piccioni!
Esito per un minuto. Grazie.
Delta came in with a 5, says, glad to hear Mahler is going back to write, quote, real material. Randomly stumbled into his voice in an ant-based strategy game in Steam as a narrator. It's called Empire of the Underworld. Thank you, Delta. Tenarian says the buff girl I know that mentioned on the show with Arch is a dead ringer for Rainbow Mika. Muscular, blonde, bubbly. Maybe she should audition for the Street Fighter movie. Only catch is that she has a Nordic accent like me. She should. I think that'd be great. Tenarian says, the great thing about modern entertainment sucking is that it made me appreciate the mid-2000s movies a lot more. There's a bunch of them that I wasn't really feeling at the time, and now I love. Van Helsing is the best popcorn flick, in my opinion. Thank you, Teneri. Appreciate it. Question for you guys. What's the best popcorn flick that you guys like to watch? Let us know in the chat. Marmalin says, look it up. Small subs like that are controlled by controllers for the very reason you stated, Craig. They're very precise and easy to replace. There you go. See, don't you be giggling after death, Blabs.
Crazy.
Now we know. And now we know. Let's go. We are 7 super chats, 7 yellow supers into our goal for Montez today. So let's go and hit that today. We're 13 away. Would love to hit our Montez goal. I know Drinker's not with us anymore, but hey, rest in peace, Drinker.
He didn't actually die.
That's true. He did. He just left the show. All right. We have an update on Amanda Bynes. Now, if you recall, last time we saw Amanda Bynes, she was talking about going to OnlyFans here.
Yeah.
And Amanda Bynes has, Blabs, you wanted to talk about this?
Yeah, it's more of a quick hit. Basically, she got another tattoo. It's not like nothing impressive. She got an X on her finger to represent 10 years. It's more of the fact that you see an update of her, and this is what she looks like in the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
I have a legit question. Are her eyebrows tattooed on her?
I think they might be.
Oh,
because
no.
obviously those aren't her original natural eyebrows. Those are like she's totally changed them. If you look up what she looked like, like 15 years ago, she had completely different eyebrows.
Oh no.
Yes. It's very tragic.
Oh, the thing is, like, you can still see kind of like hints of what she used to look like.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, how sad is that?
Her eyes are so dead.
Oh God, she ruined herself.
Yeah, you see the eyebrows totally different. Those are her natural eyebrows back in the day.
Oh my God. Look what she did to herself. What happened? Holy shit.
Nickelodeon, Hollywood.
Was it the Dan Snyder guy? Wasn't that his deal?
There's I don't know anything about who like the names of the Nickelodeon people, but it was Nickelodeon stuff. And mental health and everything. Yeah, just kind of.
Jeez Louise. There was a do you know who Dan Snyder is? He's like one of the guys behind all the
Quiet on the Set one? Is that his name?
I guess. I don't know, but he was Dan Snyder was like huge during
I thought his name was Schneider.
Snyder? I don't know. Dan Schneider. But there's like crazy explosive stuff in the last couple of years that came out. He was like really into feet and like making kids do really uncomfortable things.
Oh, yeah.
And you wonder if like Amanda
Bynes she was probably a huge victim. She was
Mm.
gorgeous and everything, right? She could act, she can sing, she's pretty. Yeah. There's a
Rough
couple
stuff,
creeps
man.
out there in Hollywood.
Rough stuff. That's tough. Damn. Tenarian says, I agree that a lot of documentaries are BS, and I can't stand when people think they know everything about a topic simply because they watch a documentary. This is, however, the guy who said he didn't want to hire 50-year-old white guys. It's true. Thank you for the reminder on that, guys. Appreciate your that's what you guys are always the third and fourth chair on the show, which is great. Pastor of Muppet says, fellas, is it gay to think Brett Cooper is hot asking for a friend? I mean, she literally looks like Ben Shapiro. I don't think she looks like Ben Shapiro. I think she has features that are similar.
Very similar features.
Which that doesn't make you gay. You know, you can
Craig's
like
reevaluating right now.
I'm what?
Reevaluating.
No, Brett Cooper's beautiful.
No. I was saying like, am I gay?
No, listen. I'm very, very confident in my straightness. Trust me. All right, we have some other super shit. Once again,
I don't want to know these things.
I'm comfortable in my straightness. What do you want me to do?
Okay.
Like, I don't like come out waving the straight flag everywhere. Like, you know, like if I was
Just
gay.
the American flag at this point.
Fucking hey, let's go. Caw. Love that. All right, let's talk about the video game industry and specifically. Do you remember the game Avvowed that just kind of came out and it went?
Yeah, I heard it was very mid. Or it had some good aspects into it, and then it was just kind of underwhelming. And it just honestly, it went by under the radar.
Those who loved it, loved it. Those who didn't. Very simple, right? It was a game that had very mixed reviews. It was at the forefront of the DEI discussion, and just a lot of that talk. Well, currently it has 401 players on it right now over on Steam. You can see it drop, and it kind of just flopped. Kind of came out and flopped. It did not see a lot of success. And as always, people are like, yeah, but it was played on Game Pass. It was one of those day one on Game Pass things. Well, it came out, it flopped, and apparently the Avvowed director, they worked at Obsidian, and they just decided to quit after more than a decade on the job to go to Netflix-owned Oxenfree Studios. So they're going to be developing Netflix games now. So after working at Obsidian for a long time.
Do people play Netflix games?
Okay, that's even a better question. Chat, have you ever played a Netflix game before?
It's such a niche thing too, because first of all, you have to pay for Netflix, correct, and then to be able to play those games. So it's like, that's a bit of a niche audience, isn't it?
No. You don't pay to play the games on Netflix. It's including your subscription.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? You have to pay to have Netflix.
Yes.
Well, that's
just
shit.
Well, just like you need to pay to have Game Pass or something.
Yeah, but Game Pass offers a huge variety of games, like thousands. What does Netflix offer? What, 5 mobile games? Hip hip hooray!
Well,
what do they got?
They certainly are like definitely mobile friendly. I mean, you're playing them with a like a little controller. They're not talking about. Here we go. Here are some games. They have a game called Squid Game Unleashed available right now.
Do.
Yeah, it's smart for them to tie it into their properties here. You can see here, and look, here's a list of all the games that they have. They have Dead Cells here. You can play GTA San Andreas. What the fuck?
Huh?
I had no idea you can play GTA on.
I didn't know that.
What?
I thought they had like these most random ass mobile games.
It says, well, this is apparently a mobile game. It says get mobile game here. All right. Hades, that's a big game. Into the Dead, Katana Zero. I don't know what Katana Zero is. So, you can play Sonic Mania. I had no idea that these things are Street Fighter 4 Champion Edition. What the fuck? I didn't know they had.
It's all mobile. Like, so again, this is very niche because it's all mobile. I don't know. Whatever. Listen, this director want to go to from Avowed to a Netflix. Be my guest. Have fun.
Okay, hold on. I'm
Craig's gonna download Street Fighter IVCE.
No, I'm looking right here. I'm looking right here I want to see what it looks like on Netflix because I'm pulling it up on YouTube because I'm curious. I want to see kind of how this looks versus like, okay, so here it is. Here's what it looks like on Netflix right here. It's obviously a jangled mess. You can see the frame rate isn't exactly stellar.
Adam says it's not mobile. You play on your TV with an Xbox controller. They're literally advertising it as a mobile game.
Well, in this situation, yeah. So maybe this is on mobile, but there you go. Anyways, this is what the Avowed director has quit to produce here. Is more or less mobile games on.
Hey, if they're
Netflix.
happy, why not? I just think it's super niche.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Gaming is supposed to be a big priority for Netflix. So, we're waiting for that big Netflix deal to come along for us here on Side Scrollers on a day-to-day basis where you can find the show on Netflix. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah.
Although maybe not because I'm not a big fan of Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, then Prime or whoever. Or
they're all shit, to be honest, aren't they?
There you go. But it's another example of someone failing upward in the video game industry. Once you're in it, and you will fail upwards for sure. Ian came in and said, I like playing the Netflix game where you have to guess how much your HD subscription price is going to go up next month. That's right. Katal came in with the 10, says, today's my birthday, and the First Descendant is releasing dynamic physics in the game. A good gift for me. May I request the Poppy clip?
Oh, for you, we can get Poppy out.
Hold on. Okay. All right, I was gonna say it's either Poppy or Dan Vasc.
No, Poppy. Let's be real.
Sounds good. All right.
There she is. She's saying happy birthday! Yay!
Tenarian came in with the Chad Warden voice. Says Netflix ain't got games. It got games. There you go. Thank you, Tenarian. Appreciate that. Chad Warden in the chat. Listen, it's always a good show when you get a Chad Warden reference, and I appreciate that. That's great. All right, let's go here. Let's talk about the new Switch 2 is coming. And this was, you always see like the sound effects and the music released for these things.
Mm-hmm.
This simply asks, did the Switch 2 copy Sonic the Hedgehog? We'll let you guys be the judge here. Okay, so once again, this is for the welcome tour here. I mean, that is like.
It is very, very similar. I would not call it plagiarizing, but it is extremely similar and begs the question of like, why would you do that, Nintendo? Of all the things to compose, why that one? You know?
I'm with you on that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We have this. I'm trying to see if there's any. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, this is a fan-made concept. I'm just looking on YouTube real fast to see if there's actual footage of this, because I would love to actually go in and see what it looks like. Here, let's pop in here. Let's just get some gameplay of this.
Sorry, hiccup.
What?
I had a hiccup. Sorry.
There we go.
What are you looking at?
Huge.
Are you alive? Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I thought I'd shared my screen. I had not. I'm over here just like staring at it.
So we can kind of walk around on the surface and see these signboards. It's set up kind of like almost like a tech expo or something. We got all these friendly people here ready to tell us all about the new hardware, give us all this information. All the parts
Wait,
are
isn't this the one
labeled
where
with
you have
these
to
little.
spend like $10 for?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you have to pay $10 for this, and the music kind of sounds a little bit of a ripoff.
It
Starting
seems
strong.
It
Starting
seems too on point. It really does.
little
It seems way
bit.
too on point. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Currently sitting at 8 yellow supers of our goal of 20 today. Let's see if we can get that. We can get a last second push to get there. I think we can. I think that'd be great. Everyday Doug says idea for Switch 2 of Blabs versus Blabs plays NES Jaws with a wireless Logitech controller with AA batteries installed. I love that. It's great.
Gonna have to get a Logitech controller first.
Commodore Band says Netflix makes games. I seriously didn't know. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like super duper niche, but you know what? To each their own. If you like it, you like it.
Frog's Magician says Chemical Zone on Sonic 2 is the best song in the series. Chemical Zone is a great theme. Great theme. Imagine he says, if you think Brett is an issue, wait until you see Ben's actual sister. But seriously,
She's got some honkers, that one.
pull her up.
Okay, hang on. I actually was in the middle of trying to find like a big booby video. There we go. All right, so this is a still of Abigail Shapiro. She's got a rack.
God, I mean, what an attractive, talented woman. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Good for
footage of
her.
her? Do you have any footage of her walking? I'm sure
Yeah, let me see if I can find some. Let me see.
sure the normal
Walking.
men would like to do research on how talented she truly is.
Oh, it's gonna be hard to find her walking around, or all these still images.
Nah, I'm sure you can find video.
You know, I'm good. I don't really
You do
want
it
to
on the
go and
show.
look jiggle physics on, and like, I'm good. I feel like this is borderline harassing the woman.
I agree. Let's not do that. Let's do that. Initial C says Nintendo's so big on copyright claims for anything that vaguely resembles their stuff. Get on it, Sega. 16-bit console war 2. Let's go. Thank you, Initial C. Can we just do barter again? I want to trade some of my chickens for a new chair. There we go. I like that. What you can do, by the way, you can barter at any time. You don't need to use money. You can literally, if you want to go to a store and trade your chickens for a chair, you can do that. It's just
I've bartered before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like online barter. So
Oh.
I would trade a Harry Potter pin, and someone would trade me their Harry Potter pin, and we would just mail them to each other. A barter.
Well, that's more of a trade.
That's still a barter.
No,
you
that's
give me
a
that, I
trade.
give you this.
Okay, that's a
I'm trying to help.
You're not.
Oh well.
No.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Do you recall, Blabs, a couple days ago, one of the big stories was Randy Pitchford, the CEO
Yes,
of
the
Gearbox.
Borderlands dumbass. Yeah.
Yes, him talking about how, look, the true fans will spend $80 on Borderlands 4. This was a big point of contention for a lot of folks, and people were not, I'm going to say rather upset, but it was just more like, yo, really fucking tone deaf. His tweet went out and kind of got passed around, and he got ratioed in a major way. You can see the people who liked it versus the people who were just like, yo, And Colt's right. Everybody disliked that. 1000%. Nobody liked that. And you saw Kyle over here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You accelerated the end of this here. And Synth Potato says, Dog, we are not paying $80 for a Borderlands game, fully knowing you'll do multiple season passes that cost another $100, and you'll probably sell weapon skins too. So he got ratioed in a major way, but he wanted to let you know his justification for this. Because in his note, he says, it's not his call. It's not his call here in response to the game better not being $80. And if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991. And blah, blah, blah. He made it happen. Well, here is Randy Pitchford's truth on the matter. And he gets talked about it at this thing here.
Randy, I got a tough one for you here.
Oh, you got a spicy one for me?
I don't know the answer. I don't know.
Why is it always me that has to do the spicy ones? All right.
What would the game's price be? That's an interesting one. I don't know this.
The price, really, now? I'll tell you the truth. I don't know. And that's the truth. I'll hit it. I'll hit it straight on. And it's an interesting time, right? We've got the on one level, we've got a competitive marketplace where people want to, or the people that make those choices want to sell as many units as possible, and they want to be careful about people that are price sensitive. So there's some folks that don't want to see prices go up, even the ones deciding what the prices are. There's other folks accepting the reality that game budgets are increasing, and there's tariffs for the retail packaging, and like, it's getting gnarly out there, you guys. Borderlands 4 has more than twice the development budget than Borderlands 3. More than twice. The truth is, I don't know what the price is going to be. I do know that we will be opening pre-orders soon, TM, and that will be when the price is set. I think.
Oh, good. Usually that does happen when you set a pre-order, that the price is set when you pre-order. What a fucking idiot. By the way, you're muted.
Generally, that is what happens.
Right?
Yes.
What an idiot. Can I just say, though, that this guy looks like a very lesbian version of John Goodman?
Okay.
Very, very lesbian, feminine version.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, I appreciate that you had John Goodman pulled up here.
It came to me when he was sitting with that hairstyle. He just, yeah.
Okay. Well, it was fun to watch Randy Pitchford get ratioed by a lot of folks over here, including Devolver Digital, who probably one of the best tweets they've ever had. This is in quote tweeting of IGN talking about the story, and they said you're going to be able to buy, I guess, Myco Punk for you and three of your friends for the price of one copy of Borderlands here. And this is their indie title over here. And he did not like that, by the way. He said in response, Randy Pitchford quote tweeted that, says, Myco Punk is cheaper than a point of meth. Probably has fewer side effects. Too. That's a really good question.
Only specific comparison.
The idea of there's a lot of things that you can compare it to, but meth wouldn't be the first thing that I would.
Yeah, especially in video games. There's tons of things you can compare in video games, but this guy went straight to meth.
Wow. Anyways, I don't know if that says a lot about Randy Pitchford, that he actually knows the cost of. I didn't know it was called a point of meth. Is that a measurement?
Honestly, I would not know these things.
Good question. I don't know. Chat, by all means.
Any druggies in the chat? Can you let us know, please?
Any druggies? All right, nice.
I wouldn't know this shit.
Well, no. Listen, is that we're gonna call everybody druggies?
Hey man, there might be some druggie in the chat. Let's not exclude them from the audience.
Oh, Lord. I grokked this and it said, and I quote, comparing the price of Myco Punk to a point of meth reflects ongoing tensions. Yeah. But I need to know, what is a point of meth?
Yeah,
what is a point of meth?
We need to get some Breaking Bad stuff.
This is important. Look, we're figuring this out. 0.1 grams of meth. Okay.
Ah,
There we go.
the
It's a
more
common...
you know.
All right. Nice. Thank you.
Hang on, where's the acid? I need it. Here we go. Oh no, it's Instagram, Craig.
Oh no, what happened to me?
I don't know. I
Stop
blinked
that.
and you disappeared.
Yeah, what the hell? Hey, everybody. Good to see you again. Yes, the term is often used in the context of drug transactions where a point might be sold for around $10, though prices can vary significantly. Okay. It's like market conditions. That's important. Okay.
We're learning
now
so much
we learned
today.
a little bit more. Yeah, this is important stuff.
I have another update for the chat. Remember what I told you this morning? Okay, so yesterday, on yesterday's stream with Arch, he was all like, in Japan, they have carbonated cum to drink. And I was like, that's fucking wild. So I messaged my friend who was born and raised in Japan, lives in Japan, everything. I was like, hey, man, is it true that there's such a thing as a carbonated cum drink? And he's like, no. So I guess we've been bamboozled. Or he's just not unaware of it. Who knows? But yeah, the more you know.
Okay. Thank you for that, Blaz.
I thought it was a nice update. I did say yesterday I'd ask, so
yeah.
I woke up to that message this morning. I was like, oh, already done?
Okay, I wanna
pivot.
Yeah, I'm gonna pivot. Okay, now here's the thing. We're gonna pivot and we're gonna talk about this story. Blaz, I put it in the private chat.
Yeah, I saw. I'm ready. I don't know anything though.
I wanna preface this by saying we're gonna go into the political realm, but it ties into streaming and gaming. Look, I don't know enough about what's going on overseas to be educated at all to talk about it, right? That's where I'm going to start there. But I do think it's worth mentioning from afar some of the things that are happening here in the States because of things that are happening overseas, right? And this morning, there was an incident where there's some Israeli diplomats that were shot dead in Washington, D.C., right here. It was 2 staff members from the Embassy of Israel were fatally shot outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. The suspect, identified as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez from Chicago, shouted "Free Palestine" after shooting and during arrest. Authorities are investigating possible motives, including terrorism and anti-Semitism. Although full context behind his actions remain under review. Okay, so like I said, I am not a political person, never have been a political person, but the reason why this is important to talk about is because there have been a lot of talks about Twitch, in particular, Hasan Piker over there, who is like BFFs with the CEO and why he never gets banned and some of the things that he said. The reason why we're bringing this up is that Hasan Piker was directly brought up today in this. Just saw this tweet from Yeet. Says today will be an interesting day to say the least. The head of the ADL, Jonathan Greenblatt, just brought up Hasan Piker's name when talking DC Jewish Museum attack. I have not seen this. We're going to check this out in real time to see kind of what's going on here. And once again, the reason why this is important is because this could have direct impact on Twitch as a platform, which is, I think, the reason why it's important to talk about this. So here we go.
But all of us need to call it out. I'm thinking about the New York Times doing a gauzy profile a few weeks ago of this gamer, Hasan Piker, who regularly employs awful genocidal rhetoric against Jewish people in the Jewish state. Like, extremists should not be empowered. People who spout prejudice should not be platformed. This is a moment when we need to look ourselves in the mirror and say, we've got to stop this because the consequences are deadly.
So they say his name verbatim in here, Hasan Piker. And Piker is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, which obviously Twitch is a massive platform that has been huge forever and is promoted on their front page regularly. And it'll be very interesting to see how Twitch responds to this, because once again, when you think Twitch, their primary thing is games. This is what you hear. They got Rocket League over here, the ESL CS right here, Counter-Strike. They got all this, and naturally they have, just chatting and such. And that's obviously their biggest category over there. But it'll be very interesting to see Twitch's statement on this. If this person who did these horrible things today was a Hasan Piker viewer and said, like, I was influenced by them, we've seen this played out the other way, where people say, hey, you're getting radicalized by Theo Vaughn or Joe Rogan, right? Or watching a show like Side Scrollers or whatever, right? And not to say we're in that category by any means, but you've seen the finger pointed at streamers and at podcasters who talk about these things on a day-to-day basis. Will the finger finally be pointed at Piker to the point to where Twitch has to take action over here? And I want to be like really clear. I don't think you can be responsible for your audience, right? You guys are all grown-ass men. If you guys decide to do something really fucking stupid or really fucking smart, we didn't have anything to do with it. You guys did it yourself, right? You have autonomy over your own body and your own free will. But the fact that Piker specifically was pointed out by, and is being combed as far as, an example of this is interesting. And it does tie in to games. It does tie into entertainment, because if Twitch doesn't act in this situation, there could be dramatic blowback to the point, and once again, you need to also remember that Twitch is owned by Amazon. Does Amazon want to be associated with this? These are all questions. There's a domino effect to all these things, these butterfly effect to this. So we'll see what domino falls first. The first one kind of is starting to drop here by him being named verbatim here. And like I said, people are like, you should have an opinion about this. I don't have an opinion about this. I don't know enough about this to have an opinion on it. But I see 2 people died. I see someone who may have potentially viewed this guy. And I see a platform that hasn't done anything about this yet. So it's interesting, to say the least. Will this be the downfall of Piker? And if it's not, will it be the downfall of Amazon wanting to be associated with Twitch? You got anything on this, Blabs?
No, I kind of echo your sentiments here. I don't know enough to say anything. They could just be using his name as slandering. I'm not defending Hasan whatsoever, right? I think he's a vile piece of shit. He should have been platformed ages ago. Basically just on like hypocritical stances, right? Someone gets banned for something, but he doesn't. So like based on those, I will wait to say anything else really, because we just don't know enough, and I don't want to be like, look. However, I think he's a huge piece of shit, but I don't want to be like, oh, he isn't responsible for this. Like, I don't know.
To bring it back to everyone's favorite waitress, I wonder how she's responding to this news in the morning. Just curious to see, because she's one of the biggest simps for Piker out there. So
I actually don't give a flying fuck about her opinion. I don't know why you should care.
It's not necessarily about her opinion, but the fact that she's gone to bat and really like is a simp for the dude. She's
showing us her colors. Therefore, we shouldn't give any time, like any time of day should not be warranted towards that thing. Her.
Yep. All right. Ian says the greatest deterrent to buying Borderlands 4 is not the price, it's Borderlands 3. Thank you, Ian. Trillis says Hasan is definitely done now. The FBI is already on his ass. Dan Clancy is also screwed for allowing him to stay on platform, right? And I think that's why this is a reason that we're even discussing this on the show. Like I said, I don't know enough about this stuff, but I do think it is, the trickle-down effect could be very, very real here. So Sparky says mainstream media is giving way more airtime to Hasan than he deserves. I think he had his uncle's help on this, i.e. Hasan's a plant. They really want their Joe Rogan of the left and are betting on Piker. Demagini says, I hate hearing about stuff like... I'm sorry, I butchered your name
every time.
Just big old D. I remember when they heavily went after PewDiePie for another unfortunate event, but he was more on YouTube, right? And okay, once again, the trickle-down effect from this even further. Advertising, right? We saw the YouTube adpocalypse several years ago. We've seen several versions of this over the years. When will the Twitch adpocalypse happen? Right? There are people that are the front of this platform that are just horrible people. At what point do companies no longer want to be associated with Twitch? And how quickly after that does Amazon pull the plug? Victor says, I hate Hasan, but what standards do we have for pointing fingers at influencers for causing violence? This standard could point you guys for anti-trans violence. I think a serious sit-down for laying out standards must happen. I agree. Be clear. The idea of anti-trans violence from us is fucking stupid. I've always said you can do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't mean I can't laugh at you, right? But yes, I 100% agree. The idea of like pointing fingers at quote-unquote influencers for their audience is really fucking stupid. But what's interesting about this is that he was named on a fairly liberal platform, CNN, in this situation. It's interesting. So Marlon says game budget's increasing because of pig fat you bring in. Tariffs don't affect digital fucking games. Piss off.
Yeah, that's what I've been wondering. So I heard this weeks ago, like, the tariffs don't affect digital goods, from my understanding. So why is everyone like, oh, the tariffs? I'm like, no, you're just using an excuse to be super greedy and go and blame someone else for being a piece of shit.
Yep. Steven says, I was just arguing with someone about game prices in the 90s. The examples from people who argued for the $80 price tag were showing scans from Canadian catalogs. I just argue that I'm not Canadian. Thanks, Steven. Appreciate that. We are closing in on our goal. We are at 13 of our yellow goal here for our Montez. Let's see if we can hit that today. Tenarian says, good thing I stopped being a Borderlands fan after the second game. I don't want to support that guy. I can easily afford it. Even got a pay raise earlier this month. Congratulations, Tenarian. Let's fucking go. Says, decided to pay my niece royalty to mow my lawn today instead. Let's go. Love that. Tenarian says, Blabs doesn't even know who Chad Warden is, does she? Here's a short educational video. My favorite point is five at 53 seconds.
I'm just saying, but I don't think he was in Space Jam. So
no, Chad Warden was not in Space Jam. Do you know? Let's just get to the 53 seconds. I don't even know if this is safe to watch.
Oh, good.
We've talked about Chad Warden on the show, Blabs, but I'm sure you forgot who Chad Warden is. Chad Warden was the quintessential early aughts gamer, talking about the PS triple, Blabs. Here's a quick refresher. Thank you, Tenarian, for this. Let's see how long we can last here.
Come on. All right. Shit. Sup, bitches? It's Chad Warden here. Alright, I'm talking about that weed, that little control, that looks like a deal, though. I ain't trying to play my games with no deal, though. Come on, you got Legend of Zelda, where you walk around with a little bitch, and a little bitch ass sword, a little shield, and he's going. Who wants to play that shit? And one thing Xbox don't got. Xbox ain't got games. Alright? It ain't got games. Sony always wins. Always wins. You can't beat Sony. Come on. Sony always wins. Always wins. Have you seen the PS3 tonight?
Wait, are we good now? Thanks.
Good old Chad. You made it 53 seconds right there. That's good. Those who know Chad Warden was an oracle. He was saying back then, Xbox ain't got no games.
Right, sure.
Ain't got no games. Chad, thank you for that, Tenarian. He says, now that I think of it, wasn't the Sonic composer also accused of plagiarism on a bunch of songs? I think I've seen entire videos about it. There is some very similar things that happen in a lot of those classic games. Commodore fan says, I think Arch might have been talking about Calpies as it's a lightly covered milk based off what? Hold on.
Yeah,
what?
I was tagging on Twitter. I think Arch misspoke. It's definitely not a cum drink. It's yogurt.
Thanks, Commodore fan. Tenarian says, I just fired up the first descendant, and holy cow, not only are the jiggle physics great, I swear they made the boobs shinier too. Thank you very much, Tenarian.
Big old glittery titties.
Delta says, it's weird to hear Hasan as a gamer. I know he plays games, but I would not call him a gamer. Reminds me of the old Justin TV days that became Twitch. Still can't believe they opened the floodgates for political and talk show streams since 2015. Okay, yeah, but here's the thing about Twitch. Look, right? When you look at their front page, why did they open up the floodgates? This is why. The number one category is just chatting. When you go into this chat, it's there are literally thousands upon thousands of people watching just chatting on it. By the way, we would kill over on Twitch. We're just not there.
Part of me has always been wanting to go back to Twitch for about a year now. And the only reason I haven't done it is because of Restream that charges you to pay. Like, if you want to stream to more than 2 different platforms at a time, they'll charge you a fee. It's like $20 a month. And I don't stream enough on my own stuff to like warrant it. So I've just been staying with YouTube and Kick. But I've kind of noticed that Kick is a little bit on the downside lately. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we can't really go back on Twitch because we on Side Scrolls does this because we're so against it last year. We advocated so much for it. I feel like we'd be very hypocritical.
No, for sure. Listen, we're all giant hypocrites, right? But yes, we would be huge over. We could do well over on Twitch. We absolutely could, right? But Twitch is a shit platform. We understand that, right? And we're gonna do our burn Twitch downstream. We're gonna do that, right? Where we stream over there and we try our best to get banned. With that said, I've said this before. There is something to the idea of going into the belly of the beast and streaming over there and being like, yo, we're not all fucking insane, So I don't know, just a thought, maybe we burn it down and then we build it back up. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas.
You burn it down and build it back up. What, like you wait a whole year till you get unbanned or some shit? Be like, I'm a back, like Luigi or something.
Launch another channel. I don't know.
Another Twitch channel.
Yeah. Mexi Rage came in and says, this is different because Hasan has openly called for acts of violence and has shown support of terrorists numerous times on camera, and you guys don't promote violence and haven't asked for it as far as I know. No, we don't. Absolutely not. Never. We would never call for violence. That is insane. Ever.
All I ever say is dishonor on you and your cow.
Fuck your cow.
Mulan.
Victor says, to be clear, my point wasn't saying you guys are actually causing anti-trans violence. My point is that bad actors will take things said and blame you without standards. This is true, Victor. This is very, very true. Yes. We are 5 supers away from our goal of 20 yellow supers today to get that Montez. John came in and says, in the UK, game prices were generally £30 for new games in the 90s. Now they're £70 a pop. Plus, everything else is tripled in price around it. PS tripled, John. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. Sorry we didn't get to this, Tim. Ask Drinker's opinion on Barnes. Sorry about that, buddy. Appreciate your support, though. Tenarian came back and says, no, you stopped at the best part where he goes, Chad Warden wipes his ass with $600. $600 ain't shit. I'll give you $600 if you just shut the hell up. $600 ain't shit. Well, you know what? Maybe we should go back and watch that.
Are you sure?
Yes. Maybe we should.
Why are you doing that?
Because I want to see him say that. Hold on. Here we go. I want to see Chad Warden talk about this. Here we go.
What's ass with $600? $600 ain't shit. I'll give you $600 just to shut the hell up. $600 ain't shit. How am I supposed to get some honeys with the weed?
Hey, fucking baller.
Wait, I like that line. How am I supposed to get some honeys with the weed?
Oh, now you like it, do you,
That's
Blabs?
funny. That's a funny line. Okay.
Okay. Oh, let's replay it real quick, Blabs. Here we go for your fandom here of Chad Warden. See, this is what's the deal with Chad Warden. Chad Warden will break you until you become a fan of Chad Warden.
Shit. How am I supposed to get some honeys with the weed? You know what they say to me? Well, I'm rolling my caddy. Come on. When I showed them my PS3, the honeys get all over the caddy.
There you go, Blast.
Okay.
You know it, Chad Warden. What's Chad Warden up to today? That's all I want to know. I want to get Chad Warden on the show. Man, that'd be great.
Chad, what's been cracking? How you hanging, man?
Well, thank you, Tenarian. Appreciate your support in exposing Blabs to Chad Warden.
Yeah, please never say exposing blabs on the internet. Thank you.
Game Hunter came in and says, let's be honest, everyone. If Asmongold and Kirsche go out with each other, they make a great couple, and they have their own political takes. Get my news from them. Hasan would have a crash out. That's right. Thank you for that. By the way, quick note about Kirsche. She has some shit going on right now, and that's fucked up. She had a tweet out last night that just said there's some shit going on, and she's gonna hold off on streaming for a little bit because of it. Let me just kind of pull this tweet up real fast. And because at the end of the day, like, what's going on with her is really fucked up. She said, due to current circumstances, I may have to cancel or delay streams this weekend. I'm unsure exactly how things will shake out, but I have to prioritize my safety. Don't want to leave people in the dark. So this is just a heads up in case a last minute change of stream plans happens. What the fuck are we doing? Right? When a VTuber Fox lady has to fear for her life, right? And fear her for her safety. Like, are you guys that fucked up that you gotta do whatever it is to the point to where Kirsche feels like she needs to cancel or delay streams? Do you hate her that much for her to fear for her safety? Man, fuck you guys. Like, the idea that she would even remotely think that her safety was an issue is insane. And speaks to how stupid and broken these people are. Just a quick side note on that. It should never come to that. No online creator should ever feel unsafe, right? When it comes to their family, when it comes to them, their personal safety. It goes back to like, are you that broken? And the answer clearly is yes. Are you that broken that you have to either make threats or the signal is raised to the point to where somebody just isn't going to stream because they're fearful? What a bunch of assholes. What a bunch of assholes. Tenarian says, I wiped my ass with $90 today. I think Poppy appearance is in order. Let's get Tenarian and Poppy. Let's go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tenarian. Appreciate that. Let's get a little Poppy going on there. Yeah, there you go. Hello. Good to see you, Poppy. Gary's Gaming says, in Chad, we trust. Gary's Gaming, you're an OG, and I like that. I appreciate that. All right. We got a couple more things to hit. Then we're going to roll out for the day. We do appreciate all y'all super chats and direct donations. We are 4 away from our goal of 20 today. And we are going to get that here in a second. Quick reminder, once again, we announced this morning today on the show, big announcement for us. We're really excited about this. Look, the whole idea of Side Scrollers Plus being like a Netflix for nerds, talking about Kirsche, bringing on new creators to work with, that is in full effect. And we announced this earlier today. We are going to be doing our first premium event over on Side Scrollers Plus called King of the Couch. We're going to be announcing who's going to be involved as well as the games, a big video game competition, super fun, bringing Blabs in, Phoenix in, and Lady Desiree as well is going to be helping head up the event. So you guys can use promo code KING to get $30 off your annual membership over at Side Scrollers Plus. The pre-show will be available on YouTube, with the main show being available exclusively over at Side Scrollers Plus. Looking forward to doing that and sharing that with you guys. Harriet Tubman came in, Blabs.
Okay, Harriet Tubman for 5 says, shout out to my wiggers, Andrew and Rachel Wilson, for taking Clementine Ford, feminist TEDx Goober, down a peg on Piers Uncensored. Gangs tub out.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate that. We have this from Sparky. Says, Kier said Twitch is better for chat experience, and
it is.
And the colorful chart sparks the artism, which explains why the platform is popular.
Yeah, it's true. It does have the best interface, basically, for chat.
Marmalin says, yes, they do, Craig. The reality is there's no quarter that's left. There's no quarter with the extreme left. They want you dead, destitute, and your kids harmed and killed, and they'll laugh about it. Video Gamer says, I stand with Foxu. She's a wonderful person and deserves no hate. What the fuck? Nintenshell says, remember when game devs had limitations, and those limitations led to innovation in epic games? Why not actually budget the game? There we go. That's extra right there. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Nintenshell. Just put it down there. That's right. Mercenary says, please get Neurosama and Vidal on the show to interview. You will love how she roasts guests. You will bring in the views. Well, Blabs will reach out. You want to reach out, Blabs?
If you wish, I shall.
If you wish, normal men, we shall. I think that would be super fun.
Okay, I'll do it.
Today, Blabs, we rag on you constantly, but it would be remiss of us to not point out when you make solid choices, or at least all right. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Spirit came in and says, I'm praying for Kirsha now. Also, Montez. Let's go. 3 away. Mercenary, sorry we missed that for Drinker. But yes, Blabs is always fired. Ben Dover says, Joe Cross, art director of Marathon, is in Concord's credits under former Firewalkers as art director. Okay, Ben. Appreciate that.
The more you know.
And more you know. Scenarian says, you radicalized me, Craig. I swear, if anything happens to Kirsa, so help me. She'll be all right. I reached out to her and just said, hey, she needs anything? What?
Itchy Nipple has become a Plus member.
Let's go. Open up a new tab right now. Join Itchy Nipple over at sidescrollersplus.com. Use promo code KING. Like our new king. What's that?
I went and hit refresh and it's like Itchy Nipple.
Let's go. Join Itchy Nibble over on Side Scrollers Plus using promo code KING to get $30 off. Once again, you'll have access to all of our shows that we're going to be doing moving forward. So, yeah, everybody does. Mercenary says, yes, we are normal men wish, or I'm guessing you said ish.
It says, yes, we normal men wish.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Can't read. Steven says, never threaten our waifus, no matter if it's Kirsha, Blabs, or any based creator. I stand with Foxu. Thank you, Steven.
Never threaten anybody, regardless if they're based or not.
That's right. Don't be fucking assholes. Wet says, since you're seen by some as a food snob, but not by me, do you shop at Iroquois? I don't even know what that is, which is seen as the most elite grocery store in the world. They offer online ordering. What is that, Blabs?
I've never heard of it in my life, and a lot of places don't even ship to me. So
let's see if you let's see, Iroquois Market.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, never heard of this either. It's an organic food, and they have pickup and delivery available online. It looks like a Whole Foods, Blabs. That's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, I've been to a whole like a Whole Food marketplace and all that. It's probably super duper overpriced.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah. I'm not that impressed.
Absolutely. Very curious to see how much like a slice of pizza cost. Oh shit.
What?
Okay, let's play the Price is Right game, Blabs. Okay. On the hot bar today's hot bar menu at this Iroquois place. How much is a pound of organic garlic scented green beans and almonds? If you want to go and you want to get a pound of ready to eat scented green beans and almonds.
Dude, I don't even know what that would cost normally. Who the fuck orders a pound of green beans and almonds?
No, it's green beans. It's good.
I'm gonna guess $40.
Well, it's $19.50.
Oh, okay.
$19.50. That's ridiculous. Organic balsamic glazed Brussels sprouts, $20 a pound.
I like Brussels sprouts. They're yummy.
$20 a pound. That's insane. And by the way, that's a daily special. By the way, so there's that.
Good to know.
The Trillis lets everybody know. Blabs is so white.
Literally am.
Literally. All right. Great place to stop today. Blabs is super duper white. I would love for you guys. It's true.
What a revelation.
I would love for you guys to open up a new tab right now and make today the day. We have invested heavily in King of the Couch, and we're going to need your support in making this thing happen. Well, it's gonna happen, but making other events happen. So open up a new tab. Join us over at Side Scrollers Plus. Use promo code King and join us over there. Be great. Would really appreciate that. So, all right, time to get out of here. Who do we have tomorrow, Blabs?
Cecil.
Woo! Cecil coming back. It's gonna be a great show. Looking forward to that.
Bring your movie props. He's doing show and tell. We've already planned it.
All right, love that. All right, fell just short of Montez today, but we're gonna hit it tomorrow. Appreciate y'all's support, and thank you so much for the big support early on in the stream. Genuinely appreciate that. Open up the new tab. Join us over on Plus. You guys have a great rest of your day, and remember, people are gonna try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys gotta go get it. Have a great day. See you later. Bye bye.
Fatality.